Having not started the new F1 season at his best, Max Verstappen is back to winning ways. The first race was quite unfortunate for Max and his teammate, as they had nothing to their name, and luck was on the side of Charles Leclerc and his teammates. The just concluded race in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia saw Max come out on top, a race filled with a lot of emotions and a restoration of titles. So what happened in the race? How did the winner of the Bahrain race, Charles Leclerc, perform? Let's find out. F1 began a new season 2 weeks ago, with a very incredible race in Bahrain. The race was a chaotic blend of emotions: anger, joy, disappointment, victory, defeat, and surprise. The outcome of the race left fans spellbound by the uncertainties and the glaring unpredictability of sports. The race ended with Charles Leclerc claiming a landslide victory and his teammate, Carlos Sainz, following closely behind him. This win came after Max opted out of the race due to severe engine issues in his car. The defeat was a big loss for Red Bull, as both of their drivers experienced the same car issues, leaving them pointless in the first phase of the race. Recall that Max had told Red Bull to correct the faults to his car before any major race. Maybe he foresaw that kind of thing happening, or he just wanted to be sure all was well with the car he was going to drive. We can't say. The man was really furious, and he took the defeat a little much to heart. So was his teammate Sergio Perez. The racers both occupied first and second positions respectively at the start of the race. But having to go out of the race with no points at all was a really sad thing. On the other hand, the champion of the Bahrain race, Charles Leclerc, was boundlessly happy with the outcome. Not only did he come out as the champion, but his teammate also came in second. This gave Ferrari a new face and a victorious start off in the season. In an interview, Charles promised to continue the race in the way he started, putting in a birthright in the first position in all the races. This was rather an unusual way to put racing, considering the scenario that allowed your victory, but we waited for Saudi Arabia to see if Charles Leclerc was a one-hit wonder. And what can we say? Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. The Grand Prix held in Saudi Arabia was a huge success, although it would have been cancelled because of the rocket that was fired by the Houthi rebels. During Friday's opening practice session, this rocket was fired at an oil facility ridiculously close to the circuit. It was quite a shocking scene for the racers, who felt something strange was going to happen. However, the show went on as planned, with the air clogged and soot from the burnt oil facility. The organizers of the show have assured their drivers that there will be serious investigations and further detail presented to them about what happened. They promised that they would not just let the matter slide without examining the events in more detail. The sports chief executive, Stefano Domenichelli, technical director Ross Brawn, and the team principals of the sports constructors were present to address the drivers at different points throughout the lengthy Friday meeting. The outcome of the race. Times change and titles too. The race was fierce, and Max Verstappen's victory was deserving of it. Max edged out Charles Leclerc in what seemed like one of the most classic F1 battles. The winning gap is a testament to the kind of struggle both champions engaged in on the road, with Max winning by less than a second in Jeddah. His teammate Sergio Perez began on pole for the first time since he started racing in the F1. This was after Perez put together a seamless lap around the tight streets of Jeddah in Q3 to put himself on the front of the grid. It was an epic moment for the Red Bull drivers. They were both on top of their game, and it gave them a huge focus overall. The tides turned again for Sergio Perez as they did in Bahrain. An ill-tamed safety car made Perez drop from the pole into fourth, and he was unable to overtake the insane power and speed of Carlos Sainz's Ferrari to get the final podium place. George Russell, the driver for Mercedes, was sixth after qualifying and rose to the fifth position, ahead of Esteban Ocon of Alpine. The race did not begin well for the seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Beginning at a catastrophic 15th position, the speed god struggled to qualify, exiting Q1, barely managing to finish the race, climbing to the 10th position by the checkered flag. Max Verstappen's victory. Max Verstappen was happy at the race's outcome and didn't hide it. Although the win was by a hair breadth, it also showed who was superior and ample wheel power to keep at their game and win. Reacting to his win, the world champion said, quote, "We were battling hard at the front. It was tough. I'm really happy we finally kick-started the season." A good thing he recognized that his win was secured after a fierce battle with Charles Leclerc. Charles did not really feel the pangs of defeat as Max felt at Bahrain, knowing that he put in his best and affirming that he would do better in his next race. A true spirit of sportsmanship. Leclerc entered the race with very strong determination. This is seen in the dominant grounds he held for the first 2 rounds of the race. He had this to say after the race: "It wasn't enough today, but I really enjoyed that race. It's hard racing, but it's fair. Every race should be like this. It was fun. I'm obviously disappointed because I wanted to win today." Lewis Hamilton's performance. What would you call Lewis's general performance since the new season started? Woeful? Has he not had his day in the sun yet? It's like to him the season is yet to begin. His performance in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was nothing short of disastrous, from the beginning to a visible struggle at the end. Coming from the one that has held the World Championship 7 times, this performance was catastrophic. However, a marshal in the Grand Prix was retrenched for putting shaming remarks on Twitter against Lewis. Maybe he placed a bet on the player, we don't know. But the tweet was rather harsh and too condescending. The marshal hoped that Lewis would suffer an accident similar to Romanian György's fatal crash in Bahrain in 2020. This wish was rather too harsh and is evidently from a very pained supporter, fan, or bet addict. A spokesman for the governing body of Formula 1 said the anonymous marshal would no longer play a part in the race weekend in Jeddah. But for all we know, Lewis's fans are in no way pleased with his current performance, while the die-hard ones hope he gets back his race spirit. The face-off fans are really sending in serious wishes. Max Verstappen came out to show the world how superior he is on the asphalt, although he did that amidst a serious struggle with the Bahrain champ Charles Leclerc. His crux is, he came out victorious. The season just began, and there's no telling what to expect in the next Grand Prix. You would want to keep an open mind though. These are in for one hell of a competition. Do let us know what you think of the outcome of the race and what your expectations are as the season unfolds in the comment section below. Leave a big thumbs up on the video if you found it interesting and exciting, and if you're new to our channel, subscribe and turn on your post notifications to get updates when we post your content on your favorite sport. See you in the next video.